listening to the Ecosystem Approach show. I'm Jason.
And I'm Patricia. Tune in every Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific Time and 4 p.m. Eastern Time on Transformation Talk Radio.
We discovered that human potential is severely limited when you program humans like a machine, which is standard practice today for self-improvement.
The Ecosystem Approach teaches you how to uncover your infinite potential by using natural methods that are truly revolutionary. Join us now for the Ecosystem Approach show. Today, we're going to talk about the planet Pluto. We've been discussing planetary energies and how you can use those energies for support and healing and plain old well-being. These energies are free to anyone who understands how to use them and can be powerful tools for any type of self-improvement and human development. Stay tuned for more about Pluto energy and how to use it.
Yes.
We are married intuitives with over 20 years experience who created the Ecosystem Approach for you. This is much different because we see human beings as ecosystems that need to be restored instead of programmed. We show you how to take an energy approach for internal discovery that is rational, practical, and useful for everyday life. Jason, we've been doing a lot of channeling shows lately, yes. Let's start by telling the audience how you've been using planetary energy for yourself.
You know, I've had blood sugar issues and I've read a lot of information about blood sugar and how to fix it, but it doesn't seem to work.
Okay.
You know, I look at my diet. My diet is really good, and we don't eat sugar.
No.
We don't eat sweets. I know it sounds pretty boring, but we both do it, and it works for us.
Yes.
And no junk food, of course, and lots of fresh vegetables and protein. So,
Correct.
but
And also regular exercise.
yes, a lot of regular exercise.
Yes.
But my father, who's dead now, is I see that he's possessed my pancreas, which
Yes,
is
he has.
responsible for your blood sugar.
Yes.
And that system controls insulin and blood sugar in your body.
Right. And enzymes. Yes.
Yeah. So when I look at myself, I see an inflamed pancreas. I asked her to look at me, and there's a possession by my dad. Now that sounds, if you've just tuned in and it sounds really out there for you, the more you understand energy, you know, possession sounds really Hollywood and witchcrafty and
or airy-fairy.
Yeah. Yes. And the truth is that if you can see energy, if you can start to see these subtle energies,
Correct.
they get mixed up. We don't have, our energy field is not distinguished separate from everybody else's.
Okay.
Our energies, especially when they're in our family,
Yes.
they blend together in
Yes,
ways
they do.
that
Yes.
are sometimes really toxic,
You know,
and really dysfunctional.
Exactly. I really wish people could sit back and see like a family function and see how things connect. Oh my goodness. The I want to say not only the colors, but the way the energy moves. And if somebody different comes into a room, oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, because Jason and I can see energy, it's like, oh, okay, I'll sit back and observe and see what's going to happen next.
If you went to a family function and you saw that look that your mother always gives you, and then see the response,
yes,
and see, you know, two siblings, one would respond like in a huge way.
Yes.
One, there's no response whatsoever.
Exactly.
You know, it's we've been talking about this a lot, and we're going to continue to talk about this.
Yeah.
But this is part of how you can use energy in general.
Exactly.
Planetary energies more specifically, and more specifically even than that, Pluto energy. So that's what we're talking about today.
Yes.
So I've been using Pluto energy for my pancreas.
Right.
And it's really helped. And it's not like it's black and white. It's not like a switch flicked or something. But I know my blood sugar issues are getting better.
They are.
And
they are.
And I'm losing weight slowly but surely. And
also inches.
Yes.
I mean, the inches are, you know, it's wow. It's nice to see that when you remove something that has been negative to you, it doesn't happen overnight. I need to say this, it doesn't happen overnight, but when you start to see the improvement in a person, well, for me that I live with, it's an awesome sight. And it's so, I don't want to say it's so easy. It is easy for someone to change
once you understand.
and once you understand, in a very positive way.
You know, I've always known this, that if someone was, and this sounds a little ghoulish, but if someone was dying in front of me and people, you know, I can imagine a spouse staying there and say, do something, he's,
Yes.
you know, I would instinctively, so just so you understand, my moon sign, which is governs my emotions,
Yes.
is ruled by Scorpio, which is ruled by Pluto.
Okay. Very
So
good.
I have a lot of Pluto energy. I understand Pluto energy, but we're going to talk some more about that later on. But I know that I could just touch someone if I had to.
Yes.
And send healing energy into them. Would that be successful in every case? Probably not. Would it save someone?
It
Maybe,
could. Yeah.
but maybe not.
Yes.
You know, it's not that simple. It's not that straightforward. But Pluto energy, and this is one of the first things, and I didn't emphasize this enough in this,
Okay.
but is healing energy.
Yeah.
You know, if you have that Pluto energy and you touch someone, if you touch yourself, if you take it in for yourself, you can heal.
Yes.
that ankle, that got twisted ankle, or
Well,
that
Pluto energy has, I'm just going to jump in and say, Pluto energy has a knowing and a strength about it.
Yes.
That is, this is what I need. This is what I'm needed for right now.
Yes. So let's talk about that.
Okay.
And what we do, we look at the aspects of Pluto, and then we create metaphors for
Yes,
those.
we do.
And that's one way of looking at the energy.
Yes.
I've been channeling Pluto all week, and it's not very chatty.
No,
it's not chatty. It doesn't say, "Oh, here I am, let's talk," you know, blah blah. It's like, what do you want? You know, get to it, you know. It seems almost
direct.
It's very direct.
Yes.
It seems it doesn't want to talk about the weather.
No,
it wants to talk about deep things. It wants to talk about things
that's correct,
that have meaning. And healing is one of those, especially if it's something big like cancer or whatever.
Correct.
So
but I
think that's probably, if I was going to take something away from this show,
okay,
that Pluto can be used for healing, I think is probably the most important thing.
Well, and I want to say, I have actually seen you connect with different people. And I've seen when someone has had a broken heart, all you have to do is put your arms around them, and you can see the hurt of that broken heart. I can see it just fall away. And the people don't even realize that's what's happening, but that's what you do.
Well, and frankly, that's very nice, but I don't do it very often.
No, you don't.
And I'm very discriminating about who I do it with, which is very Pluto-like. So let's talk about that.
Okay. All right.
You know,
very good.
It is the farthest from the sun.
Okay.
So it likes to act in the background, covert. It likes to be unseen. Doesn't like to draw attention to yourself.
Ta-da! I'm here.
It wouldn't, you know, it wouldn't wear a color to a black and white ball.
Oh, absolutely. You know, absolutely not. Yes.
And Pluto, if you go to the astronomy of it, is cold. It's really cold. And so the mountains actually are created from ice. It takes gases that have been frozen so deeply that it creates literally ice mountains on the surface. So it has this power for transformation, but it's not the warm kind of gushy, like your mom. Oh, come here.
It's not warm and fuzzy. That's for sure.
It's not. And
it has purpose.
It also has the ability to do harsh, difficult things. And I've always known this about myself, that if it had something to do with my family, I could do something harsh. You know, I was in the military. I never had to kill anybody, but I was in a go-to-war unit, so I thought about it a lot.
Sure.
I would kill for my unit, but if it was for my family, I would be very cold and calculating. The best example of that, I think,
Okay.
there was a movie we saw lately. I know we're running out of time, but it's called Where the Crawdads Sing. And this girl basically grew up in a marsh. She
In the South.
basically like one of those kids without parents that weren't socialized.
Correct.
And she just grew up on her own. They thought she was retarded or something in town, but she basically lived out there in the marsh, and she learned from nature.
Yeah.
And as she grew up, she had her first boyfriend.
Right.
And he eventually betrayed her and raped her.
Yes.
And at some point she went back. You don't know about this till the end of the show if you've ever watched it, but she went back and she murdered him coldly and with calculation.
Correct.
And she covered her tracks, and she made sure that no one knew about it. And she just did it.
And what's your point of talking about the movie?
That's very Scorpio-like. That's very Pluto-like.
That is correct.
Because he shouldn't have been allowed to get rid of
Get away with that. That's correct. Jason, what is the quick tip for this segment?
Using Pluto as planetary energy can be helpful, but due to its intensity, it can be tricky. Its power can be used for transformation and healing, but transformation has to be in alignment with the authentic person. We'll talk some more about that next segment.
Okay.
Otherwise, it can be used, can be dark or used in a dysfunctional way that comes from ego. It loves to be covert and hates to draw attention to itself. It's associated with life and death issues, and it hates superficial issues and feels that it's beneath the mundane parts of life. Its power can be used in powerful healing ways that with specific organs or systems that are attached, and can really go to the heart of dark energy that's in a body that creates illness and disease.
In the next segment, we're going to talk about using Pluto energy for high-level intuition and the ability to be shrewd using emotional intelligence. Many people understand emotional intelligence, but few understand or have the ability to be shrewd in the world. This could be the most important part of emotional intelligence. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show, unscripted, with Jason and Patricia, and you're listening to Transformation Talk Radio. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason, and I'm Patricia. And in this segment, we're going to talk about using Pluto energy for high-level intuition. I like that part. And the ability to be shrewd using emotional intelligence. Many people understand emotional intelligence, but few understand or have the ability to be shrewd in the world. This could be the most important part of emotional intelligence. Ever. Yes. I was going to say definitely. All right, Jason. The idea of being shrewd is very interesting, and most people don't associate it with emotional intelligence. Can you explain it?
So I see that using emotional intelligence, or what's called EQ, the ability to assess the situation where there are other people, you need to see other people's motives and then have the ability to act on what you see. And that's where a lot of people aren't shrewd.
Yes.
And but we're going to talk about that. A good example is in The Godfather. And we're going to talk about that in just a minute. Of course, I'm a guy. I love The Godfather. I always have to quote The Godfather. But one of the things we didn't talk about in the last segment was this idea of transformation. Oh. And Pluto is amazing. It's very powerful energy, can be used for transformation. The problem is that when you use that energy for transformation from Pluto based on what your ego wants, it can turn dark really quickly.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And it has to be transformation based on who you are authentically. Yeah. And then it can be very, very positive.
Well, and I'm going to jump in and say, and the ecosystem approach is one of the, only things, processes around that help you become authentic.
That show you how to
Yes.
become authentic. And it's not like a switch or a black and white, or this
No.
is authentic and this isn't.
Yes.
But it's a process, and as you see it more and more clearly, it is just it's truly amazing.
It is. I agree.
So being shrewd.
Okay.
The Godfather Part 2. He would never Michael Corleone. He was played by De Niro.
Okay.
And he would never show his hand, and he never liked to show other people what he was thinking, and he was grooming his successor.
Correct.
But that Scorpio in him,
yeah,
I don't know if you remember in the movie, but he had his brother killed.
Yes.
Because he couldn't be trusted.
Right.
That's hard. That's cold. On the other hand, he saw it from a very
broad perspective.
Yes, and said, I can't survive if I can't trust.
Correct.
Those people close to me.
And our family can't survive.
Yes.
And what we're trying to do in the world can't survive if certain people can't be trusted.
Yes. And so
and of course, their way was to get rid of people. That's not what he's talking about.
Yeah,
I want to make sure everybody understands.
We're not suggesting that you
not at all.
off the guy next to you if you don't like him.
Yeah.
But what he was talking about one time, I remember this. He was grooming the person to succeed him, and they had just been attacked. And the guy came in. The person who he was grooming was talking about, oh, this happened and this happened, and we got to take action. We got to hit back. We got to retaliate. And he said, wait. You're not seeing the players for who they are. He was saying that this person couldn't organize an attack like that. He's not smart enough. This person doesn't have enough power to do something like that. It's got to be somebody else, and we have to look again before we just jump out there and attack. That's shrewd. That's Pluto energy.
Okay.
That's the epitome of Pluto energy.
Okay.
A more practical example is when I first got out of college. I got a job in the biggest company in town. And I went to a college town that was a small town, and the biggest company in town. I got a job there, and it was really a plum job. It was a really big coup for me. And they eventually transferred me to their sales office in Detroit.
Okay.
My friend and I had talked about going into business, and we did. We were going into business. We hadn't gotten there yet, but I knew I was going to be laid off because they were talking about closing or reducing the size of the office in Detroit.
Okay.
And I knew my boss was feeling really guilty about laying off, because I knew it was coming. I just knew it was coming. And this was my intuition, but I didn't trust it back then.
Sure.
So that part of me that wanted to be liked, that sixth part of me that wasn't really me, wasn't very shrewd. Part of me that wanted to be liked, to be the hero, and to be everybody's buddy, and to go out with a bang. I quit the day before I was going to be laid off. Now, that was stupid on many levels, but one of the reasons it was stupid is because, back then, unemployment
and still now
in the state of Michigan was pretty good.
Okay.
And I could have gotten unemployment for
months.
A long time.
Yes.
While I was still organizing this this company,
this new business,
and quitting was just. And he was so happy. He was so happy because I was so stupid. I wasn't shrewd. That's the point. I had this Scorpio moon, but I wasn't being shrewd because my neediness.
Yes, to be liked.
The good guy, to be liked, was so strong, and it sabotaged me.
Exactly.
So shrewdness requires an objectivity that maybe sound a little cold, and to see other people's motives, but not only see other people's motives, then take action based on what you see.
Exactly.
That's in the best interest of the situation.
Right.
That's shrewd, and most people can't do that. So the other part that Pluto uses is for intuition.
Right.
People misunderstand this because intuition is a pathway.
Yes.
So imagine a pathway of energy information coming to you. it's blocked by the negative energy attached to your essence. We've talked about that
Many times.
The way to get rid of to have better intuition is to remove the blocks.
That's right. Use the ecosystem approach to do so. Yes, of course.
Remove those blocks. But the Pluto energy helps you have the intention, the power to remove those blocks, because typically the things that block your intuition the most are the most difficult to remove.
That is correct.
So by using kind of like teaming up with Pluto energy to remove those blocks, and it can be very, very effective. So you know, it's just it's one of the things that I like about Pluto energy is that it's powerful, but people get confused about the intuition part because they think, okay, I need more intuition, so I'm just going to use Pluto energy and then I'll have more intuition. And it doesn't work that way.
No.
You have to remove what's unique to you, that's
standing in your way. Yes, exactly.
And
exactly.
It's not one size fits all.
Well, and I'm going to jump in and say the best way to do that is by using the ecosystem approach. I'm a perfect example of it, and I'll use my creativity. I have all this creativity. For those of you who've never heard Jason and I talking before, but I have all this creativity in a multitude of ways, and I didn't use it to the best of my ability because I didn't understand that by removing negative energy, my creativity would become more normal and natural to me in a way that was and is of great benefit to me daily.
Well, and the biggest problem that you have today is that you have these frames or these expectations that come from your family. Maybe not even today, but they're built in. They've been programmed in.
They've been there a long time.
And trying to get rid of them is not easy.
Oh, no.
Using Pluto energy to get rid of them.
Yes.
You know, you clear them specifically. You still have to call them out, say what they are,
and then clear them specifically.
And then use that Pluto energy to push. It's sort of like a plow.
Yeah.
You know, it did create the stuff in the road.
Yeah.
The trees that are down and all the snow and all that stuff.
Right.
But you still have something. You need a powerful plow to push them away.
Well, and the worst thing that I see about people and intuition, and then we'll add the Pluto energy in a minute, is I see that people don't trust the intuition information that comes to them.
Yes.
And that's because those things that are standing in the way, and I'm saying it like this, they're standing in the way. They don't want you to, they have a life of their own. And the bottom line is that they want to block you from anything that's positive.
Good example. A wife thinks that her, or it doesn't have to be a wife, it could be a spouse, sees that their spouse is having an affair.
Okay.
They don't want to deal with it.
No, so they ignore it.
Their intuition is talking to them, but they don't want to deal with it. That's where you use Pluto energy to say, okay, I've got to deal with this somehow.
And how do I do it?
Yes. How do I do it? How do I do it in a shrewd way?
Exactly.
You know, what's in my best interest? Because I've seen people, they have this intuitive insight, and then they get all emotional and they sabotage themselves.
Correct.
In their implementation.
Well, and the other thing is I just want to jump in. For instance, for somebody having an affair, they also use the rules that they were trained in of you're not allowed to say anything, you're not allowed to go against your partner, things like that. And those things get in the way. What about what that affair is doing to you, so to speak? And that's just the example.
Well, and yeah, that's about the affair specifically, but that's where you use Pluto energy
exactly
to have the strength to deal with it in a way that's effective.
Exactly.
Effective is the key word.
Did we do the quick tip? I don't think we did. Quick tip, Jason.
The energy of Pluto can help with intuition in a deep and profound way. Intuition is just a pathway, but the quality and depth of that information passes through can be enhanced using Pluto energy to see and evaluate the information in the best way.
Right.
Pluto energy can also be used to help see and perceive a situation in ways that are more shrewd and based on real depth of emotional intelligence, where other people's motives and their ability to carry out those motives are seen.
Exactly. Exactly. In the next segment, we're going to talk about how to apply Pluto energy for transformation, developing intuition, and being more shrewd to help you in a situation for your highest benefit. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show, unscripted, with Jason and Patricia, and you're listening to Transformation Talk Radio. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason, and I'm Patricia. And in this segment, we're going to talk about how to apply Pluto energy for transformation, developing intuition, and being more shrewd to help you in a situation for your highest benefit. Okay, Jason, I know it's tricky to apply Pluto energy. Let's start with transformation. How would you do that?
So when it comes to transformation, it's a very powerful energy. And
Okay.
it works really well with that. Okay.
Okay.
When you're trying to do some transformation, you have to think, first of all, is it authentic to me?
Right.
Is that transformation authentic to me? Now, I was trying to heal, which is a form of transformation, my pancreas, and I'm still working on that. But that's for my body to be healed is natural to me.
Yes.
You know, I had a client once, he wanted to be like Richard Branson, and he wanted to transform to be like that. He wanted me to help him, but I could see very clearly that's not him.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be authentic to him. And frankly, it was his ego, because he was competing with his father, who was a successful business person.
Right.
And he wanted to outdo his father by being a Richard Branson-like personality.
Right.
And he wasn't that.
Yeah.
So, it's just, that's where if you apply Pluto energy to something that's not natural to you, it can turn dark in all sorts of ways.
And I'm going to jump in and say, and how you know if something is natural to you or not, you start using the ecosystem approach and face the music, so to speak, or stand up and look. Is this authentic to me, or is my ego standing in the way?
Well, actually, our next show is about self-knowledge.
Okay.
And usually what we've been doing in the past is using the Enneagram to see how you compulsively act.
Yes.
Not who you are authentically.
Okay.
And then using your natal chart and astrology to see who you are authentically. Well, next week we're going to do it backwards, and it's going to be really fascinating in terms of self-knowledge.
Good.
But
I like that.
if you can see your natal chart is a great reference point.
Right.
Natal chart is just a big framework that doesn't give you any of the details. Correct. It's up to you to fill the details in about who you are in your life, but it gives you a starting point.
Well, and when you know yourself using the ecosystem approach, you can fill in with great detail and have a much better understanding of who you are and why you're here and where you're going.
Yeah.
It's that part's really cool, in my opinion.
So transformation can't come from ego. It has to be authentic.
That is correct.
Developing intuition. This is another toughie. Okay. It starts with removing negative energy, because that's what blocks intuition.
Correct.
But, and then removing it from your essence. Remember, intuition is just a pathway. It's not something in and of itself. It's not a noun. It's just, it's not, I guess it's not a verb either. I don't know. So anyway, the clarity, what Pluto does, it gives you the clarity that's necessary to see the difference between ego and authentic self.
Exactly.
So if you're clearing, and then you need the clarity that, because it's not quite there, activate Pluto energy.
And you will gain some clarity that you didn't expect. I guarantee you of that.
And Pluto energy creates a framework for emotional clarity for yourself.
Yes.
It starts with removing negative energy. There's no shortcuts. There's no quick way of doing that.
Yes.
But the energy, the Pluto energy is support for that framework.
Right.
And it doesn't create intuition, but it helps you, once you're using it, to be more confident.
Oh, yeah.
I know now that I've had intuition all my life, but no one ever labeled me as being intuitive
Right.
or having a good gut feel.
Well, or I would say nobody ever said to you, are you aware that you have this opening as a pathway? Have you thought about using it?
Yes. It never happened. So
Yes.
so I just thought I was sensitive in a bad way.
Ah,
I was, a guy being sensitive is not very manly, and it didn't seem very good to me. I often knew how people were thinking, but I thought everybody could see that, when the truth is now I see that that's
Yes.
very, very,
Yes.
very
Right.
rare.
Yes.
So to help you when you're starting to move that energy to be intuitive, and you're getting intuitive downloads, thoughts, ideas, that voice in your head,
Right.
use Pluto energy to say, okay, let's look at this
Right.
without fear, without emotionality.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see what I'm hearing.
Yes, exactly. And the difference for me is I always knew that I didn't know it was called intuition until a little later on in my life, but I always knew I had something, but I thought everybody had it.
Yeah.
And when I discovered that not everybody had it, it was like, oh,
well, and your mother shamed you.
yeah, she sure did.
She had intuition, and she knew that you did.
Yes.
But then she shamed you for having it and said you should never talk about it. Like,
yes. Oh,
like it was
yes.
Like there was some secret in your family that should never be exposed or something.
Yeah.
So,
well, there was a lot of those, but that
Yes.
wasn't one of them
Yes.
anyway. Yes.
Also being shrewd.
Yes.
The blocks to being shrewd are self-absorption, being stuck in ego,
Yes.
wanting to win,
Yes.
jealousy and competition.
Mhm.
All those things keep you from being shrewd because it doesn't come naturally.
Right.
Now, it's very important that, some people just by nature aren't ever going to be that shrewd. I think
Yes.
everybody can be a little bit shrewd.
Sure.
But it's a mix of emotional intelligence, objectivity,
Mhm.
seeing other people's motives, those types of things. But what I see is that you need to see whether it suits you. For example, for me, being shrewd because I have that Scorpio moon
Right.
is really natural to me. Of course, I should be that
Sure.
way, and I should be that way more than I am now, because it takes a form of confidence and objectivity that I've never had before to say it the way it is. I've got a Sagittarius sun and an Aries rising. Of course, I should be saying it the way it is.
Well, yes.
Everybody should expect that of me.
Well,
and I've always been too nice.
Yeah. Well, you were trained to be.
I was trained to be too nice.
Well, and one of my favorite expressions that I hear not only me say, but other people say to Jason, things like, well, tell me what you really think. And, that sort of thing. But the irony is that people actually accept it from you so easily. They don't accept it from me that way.
Well, and I was thinking about that when I was writing this about you being shrewd.
Yes.
Because, you're Libra, Gemini, Libra.
That's correct.
That's air. That Gemini moon can be very clever. That's the word. It can be very clever. You've got a lot of Mercury energy, which is clever.
Yes.
And so shrewd just makes perfect sense to me. Right. What I think sabotages you is that Enneagram part of you, that 4 part, that is needy, wants to be accepted, wants to be part of the group, and it keeps you from seeing other people the way they are.
That's correct.
And then speaking to them in the way that is honest and direct.
I was going to say appropriate. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Very, very, very much so. And there's an example right there. And I know we're going to talk about next week, but the bottom line is that when you know your Enneagram type, it really is about the negative energy attached to you. But people don't see it that way. Yeah. We've been trained, all of this is great. And, the creativity goes along with the 4 personality. And the bottom line is that the creativity is great. It's the 4 personality that ruins so much.
Well, and you're naturally creative, but it's the 4 that mucks it up.
Yes, well, I would have said it a little different, but we're on the air. Jason, what is a quick tip for this segment?
Using Pluto for the energy of transformation requires the removal of enough negative energy to know the difference between ego and the authentic self. Intuition is a pathway, but using Pluto energy allows a person more ability to see information that comes through with a critical eye and the ability to distinguish motives and emotional information with additional clarity that you need.
Yes.
Being shrewd for most people does not come easily, but Pluto energy helps support that ability to see emotions and motives within a situation for a real benefit. And we should talk about how to do some clearing.
Oh, that's right. Let's
that's
do that real
up.
fast. Yeah. Yes. Okay.
So
So Jason, go for it.
Your posture doesn't matter. In other words, you don't have to be in a reverent position.
Okay.
You don't have to have a reverent attitude. You just do it. And you can be standing, sitting, walking, laying down, standing upside down, sitting upside down, whatever, you can flop down and do some clearing. It doesn't matter. But just in your mind's eye, in your imagination, say the words and you'll memorize them after a while. We have them written out. And if you want them written out and you want to see the processor, which I know Sierra's putting up on the screen right now, go to our website, theecosystemapproach.org, sign up for a free section, and you'll get our weekly clearing list and newsletter.
Correct.
That has all the stuff that we that talks about that show that week.
That's correct.
And all the clearings from that show, and written out for you is what you say.
Yes.
And then a picture of the processor, and that's all you need to get started. And after a while, we do it all the time in our mind.
And it comes,
we could be
natural.
Talking to someone
That's
and be
right.
clearing. It happens.
That is correct.
We do two things at once all the time.
Yes. One of my favorite things to do is to go for a walk and take that processor and the dogs. Sometimes I take my husband with me, and do clearing, because it's just it feels just really natural to me. So
exactly. So and the key is your imagination. So when we say to eliminate, it's either emotions, veils and illusions, barriers. Take those things and blow them into the processor. And you don't have to have a big breath. The bigger breath doesn't give more clearing.
No, it's your intention that really really
blow
matters.
that into the processor and be very, very specific. And that's the key.
Thank you. Stay tuned. When we come back, we're going to help you start using Pluto energy to make your life better and to be more empowered to use planetary energies in all the time, because these planetary energies are amazing. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia, and you're listening to Transformation Talk Radio. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason, and I'm Patricia. And in this segment, we're going to help you start using Pluto energy to make your life better and to be empowered to use planetary energy in a way all the time. So, Jason, you ready to get started?
Here we go.
Told everyone how to do the clearing.
Yes.
All right.
I direct all my resources in all dimensions to eliminate the veils and illusions, so I can see all the ways I can use Pluto energy in my life right now.
Nice and easy. Take a breath.
Take those veils and illusions
and
blow
them away. Yes. And blow them into the processor. And the reason you blow them into the processor is you're going to do all this work right now. Although it is easy, but you're going to do all this work. You don't want to get up and walk right back into it and have it attach itself to you.
The processor processes that negative energy, so it comes out neutral.
That's correct. So with that said, I'm going to shorten it up just a little bit, and to eliminate the stress and anxiety and overwhelm that I have, that can be removed and replaced with the power of Pluto energy. I love that one. Nice and easy. Pick up that negative energy and throw it away.
And to eliminate the veils and illusions, so I can see if I need the ability to become more shrewd and how to do it.
Yeah, take a breath. And to eliminate the compulsion to my ego to decide how to transform myself versus seeing who I am authentically and transforming myself in a way that is in alignment with my essence. Nice and easy. Take a breath and blow it out.
And to eliminate the barrier so I can see that using the ecosystem approach is the way to uncover who I am and to uncover all the dark energy that keeps me from my authentic self.
Take a breath. And to eliminate the barriers so I can see that using the ecosystem approach is the way to uncover who I am and to uncover, did we just do that?
Yeah,
one?
we just did that
I apologize. And to eliminate the veils and illusions so I can see that using Pluto energy is far more advanced.
It's for more advanced people.
For more advanced people, thank you, dear, who can see who they are at the level of essence and use the significant power of Pluto in the best ways. Take a breath and blow it out.
And to eliminate the intense feelings of worry, anxiety, and stress that I have that comes from illness and diseases that could be healed using Pluto energy.
I love it. Take a breath. And to eliminate the veils and illusions so I can see that Pluto energy needs to be used sparingly and with discretion. Nice and easy. Take a breath.
And to eliminate the veils and illusions so I can see that illness and disease I have comes from strong negative energy, and it could be equaled by the power or bested by the power of Pluto energy.
Well done. Take a breath. And to eliminate the veils and illusions so I can see that Pluto energy can be used to see intuitive energy that comes through with more clarity. Nice and easy. Take a breath and blow it out.
And to eliminate the veils and illusions so I can see the best use of intuition is for questions about what is best for me personally. Mm-hmm. And Pluto energy is great to support for that question.
Nice. Take a breath. And blow out anything that's blocking you from being able to do that. Let's activate some life force. Yes. What do you say? Here we go. Follow along, everyone. I direct all my resources in all dimensions to activate life force so I can have hope to use Pluto energy in a way that is authentic to my essence. Pull it in through the top of your head. Let it go all the way down your body to the tips of your toes. Stop it at the tips of your toes. Ask it to turn around right now and come back up your body and remove any negative energy that's left over that's just kind of hanging around because it thinks it's okay. It's not okay. Nice and easy. Blow out any negative energy. Jason?
And to activate life force so I can have hope to use Pluto energy in a way that is authentic to my essence.
We just did that one.
Oh.
That's okay.
We're both
take another
asleep,
breath.
Yeah.
Take another breath, everyone.
And to activate life force so I can trust that Pluto energy is powerful healing energy.
Mm-hmm. Nice and easy. Pull it in. Tips of your toes, turn it around and blow out any negative energy that's trying to block it. And to activate life force so I can decide to use the ecosystem approach to use Pluto energy and all the planetary energies in my best interest, starting right now. Pull it in and blow it out. And I'm going to do the last one if that's okay.
Yeah, okay.
All right. And to activate life force energy so I can, by using all the planetary energies, including Pluto today, to be happy and healthy and have clarity, awareness, and objectivity, creativity, have laughter and fun and joy, and the ability to use my intuition, which with Pluto energy is amazing, to see what is in my best interest and to see what isn't in my best interest and get rid of what is not in my best interest, starting right now. Take a breath and blow it out. Jason, what are we going to talk about next week?
Self-insight from a backwards perspective.
Okay.
Now, we've been talking about self-insight a lot.
Yes, we have.
Over the years. And Normally what we do is we help people identify their emotional story, the issues that they have right now, their Enneagram type, and then eventually, after they work on their Enneagram type for a while, and it takes a while,
It does.
we start looking at the natal chart.
Correct.
But we thought about it from a different perspective. What if you do it backwards?
Yeah.
What if you look first at your natal chart and see who you are
I
authentically
love that.
and see what's blocking you? You know, I could have benefited from that a lot because I've been working on my Enneagram type being a 6 for a long time. But if I had gotten really clear about my astrology, my natal chart, which is Sagittarius, Scorpio, Aries, that 6 part of me wouldn't have made any sense whatsoever.
And by using the ecosystem approach, you would have been able to, well, I would say, have clarity of what to get rid of and what to keep.
It would have been much more clear. I think it would have been made it quicker.
Yeah.
Because say, okay, this is who I am. Now your natal chart again doesn't
give you the details.
Doesn't give you the details. It just gives you a rough framework. But you can let's say, okay, am I in the right job? Does this natal chart
done that? Yeah.
You know, look like what I'm doing in the world right now? And don't go quit your job after you hear this show.
Okay.
But what we're saying is that you can say, maybe I need to do some more work with the ecosystem approach.
Yeah.
And we're here to help you with that. You know, and if today's show touched your heart in some way, if you're saying that, oh my gosh, that Pluto energy, I can use that Pluto energy.
Yes.
I can use all these planetary energies. But I remember in a couple shows ago, you talked about Neptune or Jupiter or Saturn, and I don't kind of remember what that is. The first step is to get involved with us by signing up for our free section.
There you go.
theecosystemapproach.org.
Yeah.
And if you listen to our show every week, get that weekly clearing list, what tells you, has all the words written out.
Correct.
Then when you're ready, you can sign up for our subscription service, which is $20 a month.
Yes.
And we're going to start promoting that more in the new year. But it'll give you access to us.
Actually, I'm really excited about it, Jason.
You know, it's a kind of a question. You'll be able to ask questions with us directly, you know, on a weekly basis via Zoom, and just start. It's really simple.
Yeah.
We wanted to make it really simple. We've been doing this for years. With individual sessions.
Correct.
But it's time consuming. It's expensive. We don't want to make it expensive. We want to make it less expensive.
We want people to have access to
everybody.
Because when you start using the ecosystem approach, what happens is that you change in a positive way. You have clarity in a more clear way about not only who you are, but what you want out of life.
So go to our website, theecosystemapproach.org,
yes,
and sign up for that free section.
Yes.
The other thing is that we have a Facebook page, the ecosystemapproach.org, same title. That's our name. We have all of our videos there. So go there and like us, and you can watch the videos there if you want.
Yeah.
People like to see it. A lot of people listen on audio, but a lot of people like to watch it too.
That's okay. So we'll connect next week, Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific and 4 p.m. Eastern Time. This is Transformation Talk Radio, and you're listening to the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia.
Remember, your ecosystem is the most important one in the world.
Thank you for listening to the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia. I'm Patricia. Tune in every week as we discuss practical ways to apply the ecosystem approach and develop your potential to live your life on your terms. For more information, visit our website at theecosystemapproach.org.